What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Easy Guitar Practice. My name is Guthrie, and today we will be going over a practice routine, a practice session that is guaranteed to get you more shredded on this instrument. So if you're looking to be a little bit more of a speed demon on guitar, you want to play faster, but it doesn't sound very fluid when you make that attempt, you are in the right place. This is a great routine for you. And I do think if you stick with this every day, or at least on the front end of your guitar days, the days where you play, you will become more proficient at being a little bit faster on this instrument. So it's a 15-minute routine, but if you are short on time, you can adjust the timing. These are timed exercises. And that's really the deal. If you end up enjoying this routine, of course, let me beg you to like and subscribe to the channel. That's always helpful for me. Allows me to keep doing this freaking thing and encourages me. But with that, let's go ahead and jump in. We'll start things off in kind of an easier realm just to get you loosened up. Of course, that's a big part of playing fast, is making sure you're loose enough to do so, that you're loose enough to be fluid on this instrument. So what we're going to do, you can play this really anywhere on the neck. Let's just start on the 5th fret. So we're going to be alternate picking. So we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, because that forces us to then go right into the upstroke on the next string. So if we go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, we have to continue that alternate pick on the next string and go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So we're alternating, the direction that we're picking as we move from string to string. And it's just a great way to connect your brain to your, picking hand and to stay really fluid with that alternate pick as you go through things. All right, so it's chromatic. We're just going up 1 fret at a time. Now, if you want to, you can just stay right there and come back down. But what I like to do to keep things interesting is to inch up. So when I get to the high E, right, so you can inch up, right, 1 fret. And then when you get down to the low E, inch up, right? And then keep going from there up and down. So right now I've got a metronome going at 80 beats per minute. So it's really not that fast. And you want it to be in a place where you're very comfortable so that you can express that skill in a fluid manner. So like I said earlier, this is a 15-minute routine, and this is exercise 1 of 3. So you should be setting a 5-minute timer. And if that tempo is feeling so good, you're not making any mistakes for the first minute or 2 minutes, then you can bump things up. So now I've got a 95 beats per minute metronome going, and that's an increase that feels comfortable for me. But based on your capacity and what feels right, you might be making a more gradual increase, or maybe you make a bigger increase because you feel that much more comfortable. It's all good, and it's all up to you and your skill set at the moment. But now I'm going to try to, as opposed to the first time around, I'm going to try to put a little bit more expressive rhythmic feel on this, even though, it's a really basic and somewhat monotonous pattern. Let's try to make sure it's rhythmic. Here we go. So it's really that triplet on the 4th note on each string that I'm trying to make a little bit more rhythmic, as opposed to, right? There's a different feel to that. So just making it a little bit more musical, even though this isn't necessarily a very musical exercise. And like I said, you can inch up, right, in your session. So maybe the first 2 minutes feels really good at 80. You scooch it up to 85, right? It doesn't have to be that big increase for the next minute. Then the next minute you go up to, 95, 100, whatever it is. You can make increases inside of your session. And if you put this on the front end of your, guitar playing, sessions, and you do this 15-minute routine, well, let's say you stick with it for 4 weeks. Day 1, it might be 80, but day 5, it might be 95. Day 20, it might be 135. All right. And so those are also ways where you can increase it. You don't have to do it in the day. You can just stay really gradual with it. Right. And just keep things there for the entire, session, and then move up maybe in the next session. And you can be even more gradual, 82 beats per minute. And like I said, if you stick with this for a full 4 weeks and you play with it every day, by the end, you could have things, at upwards of 140 BPM, and you'll be making these really, big strides with regard to your speed on your picking hand. So there is exercise 1. 5 minutes, do it. I know it's not the sexiest thing ever, but it will make you a better guitar player, and it'll give you better feel and fluidity inside of your playing. So exercise 2, we're going to be doing this little basically pattern. It's not really a lick, starting on the high E on the 12th fret, and then coming down to the A string is the lowest that we'll get, and we're ending on the 2nd fret. So it goes like this. And just finishing on that, 2nd fret of the G string, just to give it like a little stopping point. All right, let's play it with a really simple metronome, and then we can show you how this will really increase your speed as we bump things up. So we're starting again on this exercise with an 80 beats per minute metronome, and let's just go ahead and see how it feels and sounds with the metronome going on in the background. So as you can see, we're really starting to incorporate the fretting hand more on this exercise and connecting it with that faster alternate pick. So, if I start picking things up with the metronome or just going through things faster without the metronome, you'll see that I have to move my fretting hand up and down the neck in a much more fluid manner. And of course, you can pick it up beyond that point as you get more and more familiar with the pattern, right? It pays to be repetitive to increase a skill like speed, because you want it to become automatic. And then of course you can start bringing it into other real world scenarios with your songs and your solos. Let's increase the speed just a little bit, try it out one more time. And I'll go over one really brief little technique a piece, and then we'll move on to exercise 3. So I bumped the metronome all the way up to 150 BPM. And that's to show you that it's really important to use a metronome, because what I just displayed might have actually been a little faster than this. So that's a huge increase, and you want to be gradual and make sure the skill is sounding fluid with your picking and of course your fretting hand. So really the only technique piece that I want to discuss really quick is sliding. As you get faster and faster, you're not going to be lifting your hand off of the neck and then moving to the next position. You're going to be sliding, right? So if my ring finger is basically on the 9th fret there, there's going to be this small slide as I move to the B string. Sliding to the 9th fret on the G string. And that's really the big thing to look out for, is recognizing you'll have to slide and, potentially change things based on how much you're speeding up as you go through this. But I think that will happen naturally. Just want you to be aware of it. Now on exercise 3, we're going to bring in an element of hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides, because that's a really important part of sounding fast, is to make things more efficient. So you only need, one pick to go from the 5th fret up to the 9th fret and basically hit 3 notes with one pick. And of course, I'm thinking, I'm a Stevie Ray Vaughan guy, so I'm thinking about some Stevie Ray Vaughan licks where it's, slides, hammer-ons, and pull-offs. It sounds really fast, but it's actually a little easier to play because you're not picking, a ton and relying on fast alternate picking. You're just getting a few maneuvers with slides, hammer-ons, and pull-offs, And that is what makes it sound fast. Anyways, exercise 3 is this. Now you might be able to up things and play it much faster than that, but of course we always want to start clean, and the importance of the metronome is making sure we're playing in rhythm. So, ending that kind of sliding piece up and then coming down to that really simple pentatonic shape with all of our pull-offs. That transition, I might have rushed that a little bit. So let's try it with the really simple metronome, click track in the background, and see how that sounds. We'll break things down a little bit with a technique, just like exercise 2. Then you'll be done, and you can download the PDF to this for free in the description. I'm not going to make you give me your email and everything in your life just to get that to get this exercise routine. So make sure you do download that, and yeah, let's check it out with the click track. Just like the other 2 exercises, we're starting with an 80 BPM metronome, and it sounds like this. And here's what it sounds like up at 150 BPM. So obviously a big difference between those 2 speeds, but because of the hammers, the slides, the pull-offs, we have a high ceiling, so we can potentially get even faster than that. And that's really important for taking, speed and bringing it into your own playing. So having a great alternate pick, having, great capacity to be fluid, with that alternate picking up and down the neck, and of course using the skill of slides, hammers, and pulls to then navigate the neck even faster than that. But that's really the deal. Let's do that one more time. Right, those last 2 notes, you're not pulling off. Those are 2 separate picks. But you have the PDF, so I'll stop, beating you with these exercises and forcing you to watch this stuff. Take this this download, take this routine and bring it into your playing. I would say at minimum for 4 weeks, somewhere in the 6 to 8 week realm. If you really did this before, every time you play the guitar, every time you pick up the guitar, you start with this. Yikes, you'd be in a huge place. I think you'd be beyond my skill set because I work on other crap. So I think you'd really take your skills to the next level. And that's the deal. I will see you on the next one. Like and subscribe if you did find this helpful. Peace.